You like submarines? Like a submersible? Yeah, a submarine. No, not that one. Do you like aliens too? No, not the ones who built pyramids. That shit is whack. I'm talking extraterrestrials from beyond space and time. What if you could pilot a submersible and collect alien artifacts and stuff? And there's other subs also collecting alien artifacts but want to fight you for them. So you shoot torpedoes at them. All of this is sounding pretty expensive though. I ran the numbers and it's gonna cost like $1 bazillion. Okay, so what if we make it a video game? Well, we don't have to, because 1997 called and was like, brah, I got you. Critical depth. Shit's about to get deep. Oh. I mean, come on, man, it was the 90s. What did you expect? Created by SingleTrack, the developers behind Twisted Metal 1 and 2, Critical Depth is a spiritual successor to the first two entries in the Twisted Metal franchise. Because Twisted Metal is a franchise owned by Sony, SingleTrack, which was acquired by publisher GT Interactive, was prohibited to produce more entries to the franchise thereafter. So, instead of cars, they have submarines.
That's very clever, sir. But what if there's a fire?
No, we're underwater now. So, quick opening movie. I won't use it as filler, but in summary, there's an alien race which left behind these energy pod what's-it-McGuffins. And suddenly, as this poor schlub is bumming around in a sub with his sea cucumber way too far up the shark tank, the energy pods reveal themselves as the game's primary plot device. Ahoy, matey! Adventure awaits! Oh boy, this game has some panache already! Anywho, much like its ancestor Twisted Metal, you're presented with a bunch of different characters to select from. All of them have different backstories and motive for taking to this energy pod collection escapade. The character selection screen is where you'll find all these competing factions. Political, ideological, religious, humanitarian, a few nut jobs. Of course you need the dude who thinks he's a pirate. What did you expect? Each of the 12 available characters' submersibles differ based on speed, armor, and stuff. It's pretty self-explanatory. So hop in the sub you think is the least piece of shit and move on. I'm just kidding. You can choose whatever piece of shit you want. Every character's backstory begins with a journal and develops as you advance through the game. So get ready to read a lot of pirate speak if you chose this guy. Or you can just press start and bypass. If you don't, you'll get a screen which shows a position of your level on the map and a basic layout of the level itself. Uh-oh, maybe. After waiting for what seems like an eternity, here we are in the Baja Gulf. Now, I don't feel it's necessary to belabor an explanation for every goddamn single thing on the screen, so I'll limit it to what's not so obvious. On top of the weapons panel is a power bar, much like the one in Twisted Metal. Double tapping the gas, as a control menu calls it, gives you turbo, which depletes this bar. On the radar, you have a bunch of triangles indicating the position of the other subs, right? Well, because the level has 3 dimensions of movement, the radar will turn triangles upside down for enemies below you. The active sub shown up here will give you a status about their health and which pods they have. Hey, fucking stop! Hold on a sec! I'm trying to explain shit, okay? But unlike Twisted Metal, you get a shield in this game. Double tapping the shield creates a reflective shield which sends homing weapons back to whichever sub launched them. This accelerates the consumption rate of your power, though. So on to the energy pods. Remember that whole energy pod thing? There are 5 of those in each level. Again, I won't explain it entirely because the game already does. Destroying enemy subs, ramming them, or using these green shaker things is how you get pods from other subs. Pickup pod doubles the number of weapons you collect. It also gives you more space in your weapons inventory. Oh, by the way, getting the shaker pod doubles the shaker weapon. And power gives you double your power. I find this one especially useful because you can cruise around as long as you have the pod. Holding L1 and R1 pops up this hotkey guide. You can fire weapons at higher rates and in different combinations. This also consumes your power level, but it makes up in damage and score multiplying. And like Twisted Metal, there are a few auxiliary weapons accessible using a few button sequences. You'll experience enemies using them a lot. Got it? Okay, great. So, get all 5 pods and head for the threshold, indicated by the X on the radar. But don't let the enemy sub get there with the pods, or...
Then you're fucked! How's that sound?
With the basic rules established, we can move on to the next level, and all your enemies are bitch-slapped into oblivion. Oh, fuck, they're back. So that's a substantiated explanation of the game. Shoot at shit, pick up shit, move on with this shit. Enemy subs will attack, defend, and shake you down for energy pods. Sometimes they will gang up on you, or rather it will seem as such, especially on the highest difficulty level because they're each programmed to be hell-bent on attacking you above all else. Like in the distance, you will see them fighting each other, right? But then seemingly they'll join forces in wrecking your shit. Enemy subs will use the reflective variant of the shield 100% of the time. The difficulty level also affects how close you have to be before firing weapons before an enemy throws their shield up. Captain level difficulty means that if you so much lob a seashell at your opponent, expect a tirade as they unload half their arsenal at you. Even if you move outside their lock-on range, somehow, with gnat's ass accuracy, they'll attack. Seems they have an unlimited supply of weapons as well. How fair is that exactly? Maneuvering your sub skillfully will make you more successful at being evasive, especially when you've depleted your shield strength against the blunderfest which emerges every other second. But maneuvering depends on the sub you're running. Mass is the most important aspect of determining if your sub is nimble, or a ponderous wedge of shit. So be wary of that if you're planning on jackknifing around an obstacle to avoid fire. The levels! So your procession through levels is based completely on if you go through the thresholds. It's not necessary to destroy all the subs to advance to the next level, but I found it certainly helps, because enemies would try their hardest to stop you. Well, most of the time. Levels are based on different areas in the world. So you have the Coral Sea in Polynesia. Looks like it's supposed to be the Easter Island, actually. The Mediterranean, so Atlantis, I guess. Off the coast of Japan, and even an island which doesn't exist. Of course there's a battle at Bermuda Triangle. Ah, the sound! This segment is hard to get into because sometimes I like the sounds, so I'll keep it brief. Cool sounds, like the CIA special. Fucking badass. But sometimes the choices they made leave me confused. What am I hearing? And this. And this. Did the devs genuinely ask themselves if the sounds they used are going to be annoying after a few minutes? Like I said, I don't have too much to say about this, because I can't think of any way to make it better. Besides which, you probably haven't turned off the music yet. The music! One of the few positive aspects of this weathered vessel is the soundtrack. It's big, dramatic, and feels like adventure. Especially with the Baja Gulf putting a great foot forward. Okay, maybe a little campy, but some of them are mysterious. Forlorn. Grating. Haunting. Perfectly makes the backdrop to getting your ass kicked. Unfortunately, because of the drudgery of this game, count on hearing these tunes repeat between 4 to 6 times, so eventually you might turn them off entirely. The graphics! At this juncture, I feel like I should preemptively say there's a slight shift in tone, but yes, it looks bad. It hasn't aged well. The textures are muddy and basic. Look at this thing. I know it's a minecart filled with coal, but look at it! Was this supposed to be a distant LOD model? And a more important question, why is everything so huge? I'm in a pirate ship submarine, but this car is almost 3 times the size? Did they design all these levels, realize they were too small, and then upscale everything? What is this? I know you're trying to cut back on polygons here, but come on. Sprites don't really work from this angle. There's something wrong with this kind of level design. There are these vast underwater landscapes draped in monotonous repeating textures and a few areas of higher detail. Would it really kill the frame rate for these pylons to be drawn from further away? Meanwhile, this thing is overloaded with polygons. What is this? And this? Are those wires? Why is there a crane underwater? Who is Jed? And the damnedest thing is, I could let most of these complaints slide if they just had a bluish character to the palette. Sprinkle on a few more of these specs, but the lighting looks too raw for me to remain convinced I'm underwater. Fuck it. This is an immediate boost. I don't know about you, but whatever.
How to break the game.
So here's the dirty little trick I found, even though it has limited success. You use the pilot torpedo. It's manually controlled, but self-destructs after 16 seconds. You can use it to attack enemies far away without putting yourself too far into harm's way. A key function of the pilot is in the Mediterranean Sea, where you can use it to access this door, but I like to use it to cheat. As long as the pilot torpedo is active, you have a shield. So when you're besieged by every insufferable clod in the sea, you can just launch them until the ship blows over. Well, hopefully. Another exploit I found is a result of the limitation of the AI. If you go to certain places, like up here, or in here, or just in the outskirts of Bermuda, you might as well not exist as far as the enemies are concerned. It's nice if you want to build up your supply of specials or replenish your power bar. Sometimes the game even manages to break itself. Hey, it's not my problem. My favorite one of all is clipping out of the level entirely, and there are certain places where this is really easy to do. In the level 7 boss fight, you can clip out in this underground water room and swim up and find this Easter egg, which gives you a bazillion weapons. Go here and reverse into this corner. Bam, and you'll phase into the backwaters. I had absolutely no idea this was in here until I did this. Yummy indeed. Look, This is one of the first PS1 games I've ever played. If by any likelihood you've seen my defense of Twisted Metal 3 by Unjust Wrongness, I welcome games of the more, shall we say, frenetic nature. Is critical depth disorienting? Yeah. Is it stressful? Is it frustrating? Yes and yes. Is this what you might expect from this kind of scenario? If it was easy, would it be fun? Yeah, it's maddening when you're trying to land hits or even get a lock on another sub, but it's moving in circles around you. But wouldn't you do the same thing? Yeah, it sucks to be hit by stun weapons or Joe Scullion's special attacks as he fires all of them at you. Fucking stop! One of the things I've mentioned earlier, which I still immediately call unfair, is being ganged up on by other subs. You don't even need a pod to be targeted by everybody else in the water. The most important question, is critical depth fun? Is it a fetch quest on top of the vehicle combat element? Is having to swim halfway across level 5 because you got killed to intercept the guy who stole your pods before he exits the level fun? What about firing torpedoes at this doomsday machine for close to 20 minutes? You can only get so close and it lobs these shiny balls at you unless you take them out at the source. Is that fun? Well, that one is kind of lame. What about fighting the Kronos at the end of Bermuda? You're just wandering around, unsure of what's going on, and then suddenly... Oh, fuck! Oh my god! I should have got more weapons before this happened! What a mean son of a bitch. What about being chased to a network of tunnels in the Indian Ocean? Ah, damn it, damn it, damn it! Is that fun? Well, fuck you, I think it is.
Red October standing by.